Hi everyone, it's Nick here, and today I'm talking about the brand new Dark Phoenix. This, of course, is an X-Men number... I actually can't count the number of X-Men there have been, because we also had the whole ones in the 2000s. Anyway, this one is kind of like the 2006, I think it's 2006, The Last Stand, where we basically follow Jean Grey and her growing inability to control her superpowers. Now, she is supposed to be one of the most powerful superheroes, the most powerfulest until the next one. She's supposed to be the most powerful, but I've also thought that Legion is supposed to be the most powerful. I can't keep up with who's what and what is who. Anyway, so this character is played by Sophie Turner. You'll probably recognize her from Game of Thrones. She has, of course, been in a couple other X-Men movies, like the last one, Apocalypse, which was just terrible. Anyway, like I say, the last one really kind of disappointed me in the X-Men franchise. It is a Fox Entertainment thing, so we could kind of expect that. Hopefully now that Fox has been bought by us, Disney will get some really good X-Men sort of movies out in the future. That's not to say we haven't had a couple of nice ones. Days of Future Past, I think it was really cool. Really enjoyed that one. Anyway, so this one arrived last night in England, so we had the whole premiere, and it was out in the cinemas today, so I went down and thought I'd have a quick catch-up, let you guys know whether it's worth seeing. It is directed by a very new director in Simon Kinberg, who has done a lot of producing beforehand and also has written quite a lot. So this is written by him and directed by him. And I must say, it's quite a risky venture to get a wet behind the ears director and make a big blockbuster movie. This cost $200 million to make. That's a big fucking budget. And quite frankly, it's a waste of a big budget like that. Maybe most of it went into paying the actors their salaries, because it does have an amazing cast, from Jennifer Lawrence to James McAvoy to, of course, Michael Fassbender, all reprising their respective roles from, God, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I think a lot of people are suffering superhero fatigue at the moment, and none more so than what I think are the actors in this. I have to say that watching some of them, in particular James McAvoy, who looked like he was dialing it in the last movie, in Apocalypse, he certainly was sending in emails for this one. Even Michael Fassbender looked like he was rolling his eyes at certain scenes. And Jennifer Lawrence, what the fuck have they done with the actress's makeup now? I was looking at her when she was in her, the blue sort of guise of Mysterio, and I was like, is that even her? I thought perhaps they'd got another actress to go through the horrible process of being made up, because apparently it's quite a long process. And she looks really different, like seriously different, like a different actress. Anyway, so a lot of these actors look like they're just tired of this. I think Sophie Turner did a very good job with her character. It was basically the writing and the plot that really let her down. A lot of people are saying this is going to break the actress's career. I don't think that is true at all. I think she's got a great future. Anyway, so yeah, the movie itself, like I say, the actors look quite tired. The plot is all over the place. There's a lot of sort of micro stories happening at the same time, which make very little sense. For example, not any big spoilers here, but for example, Professor Xavier is supposed to be now, he's kind of like a Donald Trump, I suppose, that he's allowed fame to go to his head. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? Suddenly he's having people question his loyalties and saying, oh, the world shouldn't have been protected from humans, it should have been protected from you. What? Yeah, anyway, so that made no sense at all. But I suppose it does kind of make plot sense, because, Jean Grey is now all super powerful. She doesn't need anybody. You guys can all fuck off. And yeah, so this again follows her losing control. I was really hoping that they were going to do something different this time than what they did in The Last Stand, because in The Last Stand it was just basically about her about to go nuclear. And, you get superpowers, you just become an arsehole. You become an absolute bastard because you've got such great powers. You're going to kill your friends. You're going to make the police helicopters upside down. Ah! And yeah, it wasn't very original. So I like the idea of having really, really, really like massive superpowers and doing cool things with them. Like, for example, in Legion, as I mentioned earlier, played by Dan Stevens, you have the character running around in Legion, and he can go backwards and forwards in time. He's so powerful, he can basically do what he wants, and he doesn't know whether to be good or bad, because to him it's all the same. We didn't have that with her. She knew that what she was doing was bad. She just couldn't control herself. So yeah, again, that just seems very done. It's been done before. Nothing new here. What was new here? They didn't use some really great characters, like Quicksilver, for example. That was new. I was expecting him to be in this movie, not for 3 minutes, but actually in the movie. He was the best thing, arguably, about X-Men Apocalypse. He was brilliant before that in Days of Future Past, or Gone, whatever the hell it is. He was fantastic. And then we get him in this for 3 minutes? Yeah, I was very disappointed in that. So yeah, the movie, is, like I say, is all over the place. Even the last third of the movie, where they shoehorn in an extra fight scene, which goes on for about 10 minutes on a train. You see most of that taking place anyway in the trailer. It was well done, I suppose. It was certainly trying to sort of like be an end game, was like, Avengers Endgame, with everyone coming together and fighting for the common goal of looking after this thing and looking after that thing, looking after all the people. But yeah, unfortunately, it was just all over the place. I can't see this doing particularly well at the box office. With a 200 million, you're not going to get that back, especially with advertising on top of that. It's sitting on 20%. Oh, it was on 21%. 5 minutes ago, it's now gone back down to 20% of Rotten Tomatoes. Not that that's an indicator of anything, but it is kind of an indicator of the feel of whether a movie is going to make a lot of money. I think a lot of fanboys will be pissed off in this, fanboys and girls, because the characters change so much. Like I say, Professor Xavier, he just changes like, what? And suddenly you've got Michael Fassbender's character, who is more likable. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, there's also a couple of really, really forced lines in making certain characters come across as being really kick-ass. For example, we have Cyclops, who is of course, he's in love with Jean Grey. It seems that everybody is in love with this in this movie with one character or another, and he's sort of like fighting to protect her, and he drops this line. They use a fuck word, and can you believe it? He says something like, "Don't touch! If you touch her, I'll fucking kill you!" And he says it to one of his own friends, and you're just like, my God, it was laughable. I was laughing about this. I watched another review earlier, and he was laughing with his friends. I can see why. I'm still laughing about it because it felt so shoehorned in. And that's the problem with this movie. There's no consistency throughout it. The characters just do what they want. There's no logical sort of progress. So yeah, it was all over the place, and really disappointed about that. I know it's the last of the current iteration of X-Men. I'm pretty sure that Marvel will do a much better job with it in the future. I don't think we're going to be seeing any of the characters again, which is a shame. Any of the actors, because they are really, really brilliant actors. Let's just come back up to 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, like I say, 20th Century Fox is finishing us off now. It's gone. Fox is gone. At least their movies have been bought out by Disney. And I did kind of like the way, though, that they ended, like the last 5 minutes. I did kind of like. I thought it was a little bit cute, a little bit of a homage to some things we've seen beforehand. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what they are. But overall, yeah, I think you're going to find this quite a lackluster when compared to something like Endgame. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Certainly don't think it's a 20% or 21% that a lot of people are doing. I think a lot of people are doing this, by the way, because in the first 5 minutes, you have Jean Grey basically save everyone. You can see it in the trailer. If you see the trailer, you've seen most of the movie anyway. And you have a character, I'm not going to say who, basically say to Xavier, you shouldn't be called X-Men when the women are saving all the guys' asses. It should be X-Woman. And I just thought, actually, that's quite cute. I liked it because it's quite bloody true. Anyway, that's what my thoughts are of this movie. 6 out of 10. Tell me what you think if you do go and watch it. I would recommend waiting for this like on DVD or VOD or Netflix, quite frankly. If I just spent 12 or 13 pounds, I'd be a bit irritated. It's also almost 2 hours long. It kind of drags in certain parts. Anyway, catch you guys later.